Toyota has decided that enough is enough when it comes down to the EV industry, and they've come up with their own completely new zero-emission hydrogen-powered vehicle that will make EVs completely obsolete. What is this new vehicle, and what are the benefits of using hydrogen-powered vehicles over EVs? Join us and get ready for a crazy turn of events as Toyota's CEO just announced that their new hydrogen car will dominate the car industry. Toyota isn't new to the hydrogen vehicle segment, in fact far from it, as they actually started developing hydrogen vehicles way back in 1992. Only 4 years later in 1996, Toyota developed their first ever FCEV, which used the first-generation Toyota RAV4 as a basis. This was only a prototype, and for the next 2 decades Toyota made more advanced concepts and prototypes before they finally announced the first-generation Toyota Mirai in 2015, which was the first commercially sold hydrogen-powered vehicle ever. Toyota managed to make the Mirai thanks to their record-breaking hybrid technology, as the basic concept of hybrid power was, in essence, adapted to produce fuel cell electric vehicles. The sales of the first-generation Mirai were very limited as the car was only sold in Japan and California. However, this was planned as Toyota wanted to see how their hydrogen-powered cars would perform in the real world. So even though there were only a couple of thousand Mirais on the road, it was deemed successful enough to spawn a second generation, which was considerably more ambitious than its predecessor. The second-generation Toyota Mirai is, unlike its Prius-like predecessor, an actual luxury sedan, and it offers pristine levels of luxury and comfort while also looking extremely handsome. Honestly, check it out. Isn't she a beauty? The sales figures have also jumped compared to the first generation, as there are also tens of thousands of Mirais on the road even though the second gen was launched only 2 years ago. This is because, unlike its predecessor, the ongoing Mirai is offered in the US, Europe, and Asia for sale, and it proved that the market for FCEVs is blooming, which is why Toyota decided to step up their game and give us a new FCEV. What is this new vehicle? We lied actually, as Toyota in all reality decided to give us not one but 2 FCEVs. First of all, Toyota decided to redesign the ongoing Mirai. As good as it is, the current gen Toyota Mirai had its issues, namely the space on the inside leaves much to be desired, as the hydrogen tanks are located beneath the rear seats and the center console, making them extremely cramped. Even though the car shares its underpinnings with the ginormous Lexus LS, the redesigned Mirai will have better placement of the tanks, which will allow more legroom and headroom. However, it'll also boost the car's boot space, which is currently only 321 liters, which is unacceptable for a car that's 4,991 millimeters long. Apart from the redesigned interior, we'll be getting a new version of the car called the Toyota Mirai Sport, which will be aesthetically considerably different from the regular Mirai. The front fascia of the car showcases a redesigned bumper that largely departs from the standard Mirai's chrome-infused grille. Instead, the Mirai Sport will have a smaller and lower-positioned grille, similar to the one on the newest generation Toyota Prius, and it will also have 3 slits positioned above the license plate. The addition of a black trim piece between the headlights complements the car's much sportier appearance, and the change of color for the trim, which is now shiny black, makes it look even more menacing. The Mirai Sport has also gotten a bunch of new stuff in the back too, as it now has a rear diffuser finished in a glossy black color complementing the front of the car. All of this has been highlighted by the addition of a subtle black spoiler, and certain body panels are adorned in a carbon-style weave wrap. The main complaint with the Toyota Mirai was the complete lack of fun behind the wheel, as the car was all but engaging to drive. To compensate for the lack of sportiness, Toyota decided to fit the Mirai Sport with a fresh set of wheels. Toyota decided to ditch their boring OEM wheels, opting instead for BBS-style 21-inch alloy rims combined with Michelin Pilot Sports S tires. This combination will allow the car to attack the corners much more precisely and stably, while also making it look much more aggressive. The suspension has also been lowered by 20 millimeters, which might not sound like much. However, it'll significantly help with body roll and contribute to improving handling dynamics, while also having a noticeable effect on the stance of the vehicle. The powertrain will also most likely get an update too, as the current one produces 182 horsepower and 300 Newton-meters of torque, which is hardly going to make you shudder in your boots when it comes to going flat out. We believe that the Mirai Sport will have upwards of 220 horsepower, allowing the car to go from 0 to 60 in less than 7 seconds, which is quite respectable and considerably better than the current 0 to 60 time of 9.2 seconds. We're expecting that it'll also be less efficient compared to the long-range Mirai. However, everything above the XLE's projected 402-mile range will be more than acceptable. However, the Mirai isn't the only FCEV that's getting released, as alongside it, Toyota will reveal its all-new Toyota Crown sedan, which will share its platform with the current-gen Mirai. However, it'll be a tad longer, sitting around 5.03 meters long, and will also have a completely different interior that will be much more upmarket compared to the Toyota Mirai. The exterior is also much posher looking than its less expensive sibling, with a bold front design that's dominated by a large vertical barred grille, similar to the grille found on Mercedes Maybach models. The rims also exude classiness, as they've been fitted with bad tires, which means that the car will be oriented towards ironing out road imperfections and will be much softer than the Mirai and Mirai Sport. China has already taken interest in buying large quantities of the upcoming Toyota Crown, as they much prefer it to its EV counterparts, which leads us to the question, what are the benefits of using hydrogen-powered vehicles over EVs? The benefits are actually numerous, however, they can all be summed up with the fact that FCEVs are actually much greener than their EV counterparts. EVs, technically speaking, don't pollute. However, the energy that they use needs to be produced somewhere, and the production of said energy is, more often than not, devastating to the environment. Compare that to FCEVs, which utilize the most abundant gas in the universe, and don't require being connected to the grid to be recharged, and you can easily see the long-term appeal of FCEVs over EVs. In fact, it's believed that a regular vehicle needs to do more than 100 to 150,000 miles to achieve the pollution levels that the production of a single EV creates. Furthermore, EV batteries are made out of lithium, which is extremely toxic to the environment, especially the one that surrounds the location where it's being excavated. Since EVs require powerful batteries, there are virtually no alternatives at the moment that could replace lithium. FCEVs also use batteries, however their batteries require considerably less power than EV batteries, which means that lithium can be replaced by a greener element, making FCEVs even more appealing to those that wish to preserve our planet. Oh, and there's also a party trick up FCEVs' sleeves, and that's the fact that they actually make the air cleaner. You see, to create electricity, FCEVs combine oxygen with hydrogen, essentially creating water. When the water evaporates, the oxygen is returned to the atmosphere. However, thanks to the filtration system that is fitted to FCEVs, it comes out virtually completely clean, meaning that driving FCEVs in densely populated cities will actually start cleaning the air that we breathe by technically recycling it. Now, this won't completely fix the problem of air pollution. However, it's a step in the great direction towards a much cleaner future, and you don't even have to do anything. Oh, and the previously mentioned Toyota Mirai Sport is just a concept car, and while it might enter production, there haven't been any official statements that confirm this. The Toyota Crown sedan is coming out this autumn. However, it's going to be sold virtually exclusively in Asia and in limited numbers, just like its predecessors. Plus, Toyota is already tackling the EV segment with their own battery-powered EVs, as Koji Sato, Toyota's current CEO, announced that the company is currently working on 10 new models in addition to the BZ4X that are going to be EV exclusives. Still, Toyota is not giving up on their FCEVs, as they still believe that hydrogen is the way of the future. The fact that China is highly invested in purchasing and using hydrogen vehicles from Toyota means that the company might get the perfect starting ground for it to keep building and developing the FCEV infrastructure. However, until they find a way to make hydrogen more affordable and their vehicles more efficient and above all else more powerful, FCEVs will be no match for EVs, even though they might be potentially greener for the environment in the long run. However, EVs are in huge trouble currently, as a sports CEO announced that the entire market is about to experience a huge problem since the rare minerals used for EV batteries are almost completely depleted. If you'd like to learn more about the imminent danger that's approaching EVs, be sure to check out this video.